Alright, so this is Chris here. I'm going to do a quick video, just show how I diagnose the air conditioner. We got a call last night, and it was after dark, so it didn't go in through emergency, but this morning I had to come out and fix this air conditioner. And what it is they said it was working fine, then all of a sudden it just wasn't blowing cold air, so I did some checks inside. The thermostat's on, getting signal down to the outside unit, but the outside unit's just not turning on. A lot of cases it can just be like there's a float safety switch, so that whenever the water level from the condensation in the air gets too high, it'll shut off. That's like the number one thing you check, and then clear out the drain line and all that. But this one still wasn't working, so I'm out here at the unit. Let me see if I can show you the unit here. The unit is right here, and it's not working at all. It should be doing this, which is the fan should be running and all that, but it's not. So the first thing I look at is see if the lines down here are frozen. If this line is like white and frozen, and inside you can see that where it goes inside is frozen, that's bad. Next thing you want to check is the capacitor. Don't touch this because it's high voltage. It actually up converts your 240 volts to 370 or 440 volts. So it'll give you a good zap if you don't handle that correctly. The next thing, which I've already diagnosed this one, is the contacts. And I don't know if you can see them in there, but they're pretty dirty and really corroded and bad. So, but the way you can take a volt ohm meter and you can, test right here on the bottom to see if you've got power coming in, and then test on the top to see if power's coming out. But you can see on this one that if it's not humming and it's got signal going to it, then it's probably that's probably what it is. The other thing is this capacitor. That's like probably your number one thing that goes out, especially when it gets hot. This thing will swell up and look like a pop can that was left in the freezer overnight, and that's pretty much for sure bad. But it doesn't have to look like that to be bad. It can just look just like it is and still be bad. If you have a volt ohm meter and you want to test for capacitance and all that stuff, then that's the proper way to do it. But usually if the unit's just humming and not running, that's probably what it is. We have capacitors on hand, so we'll swap them out. If that doesn't work, then because it usually takes about as much time to take it off, test it, and everything else as it does to just swap one out real quick. They aren't very expensive, between like $8 and $30 depending on which one you get. So that's pretty much what's going on here, and hopefully that was good quality and we can use it. But I'm gonna change out the capacitor. Let me show you real quick how I test this, just the quick and dirty way to make sure that it's working. And hold on here. Just take a screwdriver, something that's non-conductive, and right here in the capacitor, in the contacts, you can see there's this button. You push it and it starts. Okay, so sometimes that button can be pushed in and it won't be running, and that's usually because that's because the contacts are bad. This case, the magnet that pulls in the contacts is bad. So I'm going to swap that out. It'll be up and running. We'll check the pressures, and they'll be back to being nice and cool in about an hour. So hopefully that helped you out with your own home issue. The other thing that's real common, and something that someone can take care of by themselves, is that these coils out here, these get just full of grass clippings, cotton, you know, dandelion seeds, whatever. And when they do, they don't cool very well. Best thing to do for, you know, someone who doesn't feel real comfortable with it is to go up to the box, pull the power, and once there's no power going to this unit, then you won't be shocked or anything like that. And then just take a water hose and then wash out. Don't use a pressure washer or high pressure or anything, just a plain old garden hose with low pressure, and just go from top to bottom all the way down and clean all these fins. And that will bring back the efficiency of your air conditioner, especially when it gets over 90 degrees, and very much so when it gets over 100. You need to make sure those are good and clean. If you have a unit that, you know, it works great until it hits like 95, that's probably your problem. And it doesn't cost hardly anything to do it. Anyone can do it on their own. If you have one of those units where the outside is slotted and you can't really get in there with a hose, the way you're supposed to do it for all units is these suck air in, so it all builds up on the outside of the unit, and then on the inside it'll be clean. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take this top cover all the way off, remove the fan, and then hose it out from the inside. A lot of people are uncomfortable doing that, wondering if they'll get it back together right, whatever. It's up to you, but even if you just take a hose and spray it up underneath those fins, that'll help quite a bit too. So that's generally a little tidbit on diagnosing and repairing AC that you could, things that you can do on your own without having to call someone out. If you do have to call someone, if it's more intense, you know, refrigerant needs to be added, leaks, that kind of stuff, you really need to get someone who knows what they're doing. Even with this, if you're not comfortable around electricity and know what you're doing with electricity, probably a good idea to just wait for someone who's more familiar and can do it safely. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and hopefully you will get a lot out of it. Anyway, you can send me emails and questions if you have simple ones. I can't spend 30 minutes trying to diagnose everybody's air conditioner, but this is just a quick little video to help you out.